What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm back with my second video. Hopefully you were watching this one after watching the immediate video that I just put up talking about how I cheated on my bulk diet and lost a bunch of weight. So that one will set the stage for this one that I think most of you who are already members of my audience have been waiting for some time. If you've been following my channel, you know that I've been working my way into my summer bulk from my fall cruise, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so I was basically waiting on a bunch of drugs to come in, so it took some time to kind of transition my way into a full-blown blast. So today I'm happy to report that the blast is on in full effect. I think we're nearing, I think this is the end of week 2. So first, let's start with all the compounds, because I know that's what a lot of you guys want, and then you'll just fucking click off the video and then jump in the comment section and ask a bunch of stupid fucking questions that I'm going to answer if you can just be patient. So don't fucking be that guy. If you can't wait, just fucking speed me up down here. Don't skip the video, just speed it up, and then I'll answer all your questions, almost certainly. If I don't, then feel free to comment. So the cycle that I am running currently is 500 milligrams a week of Test E, 200 milligrams a week of Trenbolone E, and 500 milligrams a week of Primo E. Yes, the Primo is good. Yes, I know it's good because it's been fucking tested. So we've got Primo, Tren, and Test, 500 milligrams Test, 200 milligrams Tren, 500 milligrams of Primo for a grand total for all of you math wizards of 1,200 milligrams of total androgens per week. That is where we started when I had my little cheating episode that I mentioned in my previous video. So on top of that, I've got a whole list because there's a bunch of shit. On top of that, I'm running 4 IUs per day of growth hormone. I'm running 500 IUs twice a week of HCG, 3 milligrams per day of Cialis, a 1/4 milligram of cabergoline or cabergoline, however you say that, twice a week. So a 1/2 milligram of caber per week. BPC 157 is coming in at 250 micrograms per day. My Arimidex dose is currently at 3 milligrams per week, and I'm fucking concerned it's not enough. My Ambien is still at 10 milligrams per night, and telmisartan for my blood pressure is at 100 milligrams per day. So aside from Delta 8 and the new miracle compound that we're going to be talking about today, that is all I am taking. I take 1 Delta 8 gummy to help with sleep during the night because the Tren fucks with my sleep. So if you saw the previous video, then you know that I cheated on my diet and lost 6 pounds in 4 days, obviously not all tissue. I have struggled my entire life with eating. I've talked about this ad nauseum on this fucking channel. And so some time ago when I ordered the Primo, I decided to try MK677, which is a ghrelin, it's an IGF-1 growth hormone secretagogue, but it causes your body to produce ghrelin, which controls your appetite apparently. I haven't studied this as extensively as I study most things, probably because there's not a fucking shit ton of data out there, and a lot of it's all over the place. So what I can tell you before we talk about these compounds and the effects that they're having is that the way my lack of appetite works is it's not really like I don't know that I need to eat, or I don't know that I'm hungry. It's that my stomach basically is just always gross feeling. It just kind of burns, especially in the morning. That's one of the things that is so catastrophic to my bulks, is a lot of times I cannot eat for hours and hours after I wake up. I can get liquid calories in, carbs usually. I'll try to get a muscle milk down or something to have some protein in the morning, but my appetite just does not rev up until later in the day. I think that's primarily because I'm really not wired for this schedule. I'm a night owl through and through. My wife and I have been experimenting with schedules, and I was sleeping every day till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, staying up until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And man, that is the fucking schedule for me. I absolutely love being awake at night. My body naturally starts to go to sleep when the light comes out, and I don't really need all of the other meds that I would typically use for sleep. That all being said, my stomach just generally feels nasty, and it doesn't inspire me to put anything in it. Putting food in it does not make it better. It just is miserable. So I got this MK677 with really no expectations of anything miraculous. Like, I certainly didn't think I would feel anything quickly. I didn't think it would be that revolutionary. I just thought, you know what, fuck it. At this point, I'm taking everything under the sun anyway. Like, what's another drug to throw into the compound? And might as well throw one in that is not well tested and is brand new. No one knows if it's gonna fucking kill you or not. So that's what I decided to do. And I was blown away by the fucking results. Basically what happened is I took 10 milligrams of MK677, and within 30 minutes or an hour, I don't really know, I wasn't feeling hungry, but suddenly I started noticing that weird burning, gross fucking sensation in my stomach was gone. Like, for the first time in I don't know how long, I just couldn't feel my stomach. I think that's probably the way most people are all day long. I don't know. I can feel it right now. It's gross. And so when the stomach discomfort went away, then suddenly the idea of eating sounded a lot better. And so I sat down to a meal and just fucking annihilated it. I just cleared the plate. And I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. So I get up and I go to the pantry, and I grabbed some Oreos, and I just start shoving Oreos in my face. So I ate an entire meal, then I ate 6 Oreos, and then I drank a Dr. Pepper, and I was like, this is revolutionary. So, being me, you know, why would you just take something miraculous for a fucking miracle? I said, well, shit, I'm gonna go take 10 more milligrams and see what happens. So then I upped the dose to 20 milligrams of MK677, and proceeded for the next several days to have the most amazing fucking appetite I have ever had in my life. The second night after starting the MK, I'm at the gym and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, God damn, that looks good to eat. Man, look at those French fries. I would eat that burger, right? And suddenly it caught me, like, I never in life do that. People are constantly posting the food they're eating to Instagram as if it was a hot piece of pussy they were fucking. I've never understood, like, why are you taking pictures of your food? Who gives a shit about that? And then after taking the MK, I'm sitting in the gym and I'm like, just fucking ravenous for everything that I'm seeing. And I'm like, holy shit, this is how normal people are. This is why people struggle to control their diets. So all of a sudden, I'm going to Whataburger, and rather than struggling to get down just a burger, like, I can't tell you the number of times I've bought a Whataburger and ate like 5/6 of it and threw the rest of it away. I'm going to Whataburger, eating double meat Whataburgers, large fries, large drink, consuming the whole fucking thing, and then coming home and tearing up the cookies or something else. 2 hours later, it's 6 ounces of fucking steak with a whole bunch of white rice. Like, I'm just all of a sudden eating out of control and loving it, and the weight, as you can imagine, just starts going up. So I got down, as I mentioned, I dropped from 200 pounds in the evening, about 198, 197 in the morning, dropped down to 194 in the evening, and after a week or so of MK, I'm up to a new high of 204 pounds in the evening, sitting at right around 200 and a half, 201 pounds in the morning, which is fucking remarkable for me because it's actually the realization of a dream that I've had since I was like 25 years old. I have always been my entire life this rail skinny guy. Like, I'm gonna do another video pretty soon coming up showing my transformation from when I started to today. I have another video you can look at called 2-Year Transformation. If you find that on my channel, you'll see exactly how disgustingly skinny I used to be. So I spent my whole life, the majority of my adult life, I never got over like 143, 140 pounds. Like that was as big as I ever fucking got, eating whatever I wanted. And so my pie in the sky dream was to one day be 200 pounds in the morning with 6 visible abs. And I just achieved that like 3 or 4 days ago, and it has been fucking sweet. And again, I know that probably sounds ridiculous to most of you. You could probably be 200 pounds without even fucking thinking. But I have put on my body in the past 4 years 65 pounds of muscle. Like if you look at the before and after pictures, you will see I don't have abs at 144 pounds. And here I set at 201, 204 with 6 perfectly visible abs. So it's safe to say, obviously there's some intracellular water, there's some fucking nitrogen, some other things going on. But I put on 65 pounds of lean mass in a 4-year period, which I'm feeling really fucking good about. So that is what the MK677 has ushered in for me. The downside, because there always is one, is that as we sit right now recording this video, my resting pulse is 110 beats a minute. And that's actually lower than it's been. So when I was on the when I was taking 20 milligrams of MK677 along with 4 IUs of growth hormone and this whole list of other shit that I just mentioned earlier, I started feeling rather bad. Like I was feeling great about gaining weight and about fucking killing it in the gym and having this ravenous appetite. And I was high as a kite on the world, and I'm thinking, man, this is fucking great. Like I'm gonna be Jay Cutler next year. I'm gonna fucking blow up. And then I kept noticing like, fuck, I just kind of feel heavy all the time. Like I feel something's off. And so the first thing I thought was blood pressure. So I checked my blood pressure. Nope, it's holding pretty decent. You know, I was like 130 over 87. It's not ideal, but given all the shit that I'm on, not too fucking bad. So not blood pressure. And then I noticed my pulse was 120. I'm thinking, what? This has got to be an act. This has got to be a fucked up reading. So I start taking multiple pulse readings. I was laying in bed the other night watching some Netflix special. It was about the FLDS church or some shit. My wife and I are laying in bed. I've been laying there for 2 hours, totally still, just laying in bed with a pulse of 120 beats a minute. Now, I'm not a fucking doctor, but I think that's probably not fucking good. So I have since dropped the MK down to 10 milligrams a day instead of 20. My appetite is good all day long, but starts to flag a little bit in the evening. I'm guessing due to the half-life. I don't know. It's not great in the evening, like I said, my pulse is anywhere between 105 and usually if I'm laying perfectly still, it's hovering around like 103, 105. I'm a little animated right now making these videos, so it's not surprising it's slightly higher. Still way too fucking high. The thing is, I don't know that I can necessarily completely blame the MK because we do have 1,200 milligrams of injectables here along with quite a bit of other shit. So to give you like a reference point, on my last cruise, my resting pulse would average about 183 to 185. And so then you start adding in all this other, and that was at 200 milligrams of test and 50 milligrams of Tren. So, you know, it's come up a little ways, and I don't, maybe some, you know, I'm going to get hit in the comment section with a bunch of advice, but I don't know how fucking sustainable this is. Like, I don't know how, if you can just walk around, you know, for long periods of time with a resting pulse at 110. The thing that's weird about it is that it doesn't move the rest of the pulse like down the fucking spectrum. So like, for example, if I have a normal resting pulse of, let's just say 80, and then I go do cardio and I push it up to 130 or 140, you know, with X amount of cardio, or let's say I'm lifting. Usually when I'm lifting, my pulse will be 120, 130 if I'm keeping my sets relatively close together. Obviously, it fluctuates up and down because I'm pausing. So it will go from 80 to, let's call it 120 from rest to leg press. Well, now it just goes from 115 to 120. Like it hasn't made the working pulse rate exponentially higher, which is bizarre. Now I suspect that this is part of what allows steroids to help you have this recomp effect. I mean, if your pulse is beating at 120 minutes while you're 110 beats a minute while you're sleeping, you're probably burning more calories than you are at 83 beats a fucking minute at rest. So I'm guessing that plays a role in the metabolic factors, but as to longevity, I can't say. It definitely does not feel very good. Now, the other thing that we have compounding here, and this is why it's very difficult to really draw any scientific conclusions about this cycle, is because I've never taken Primo before. I've never taken growth hormone until very recently, and I've never taken MK677. Excuse me. So there's a lot of factors, there's a lot of new variables here, which makes it very difficult to figure out if one specific thing is not setting well with my body, or if it's just the combination of all of them that are leading to these effects. On top of the pulse rate effects, the GH, while also feeling a bit like a miracle cure to my old bones and ligaments, comes with a tremendous amount of lethargy. So when I worked my way up to 4 IUs, and I was wasted, tired in the beginning, I've already made videos about this. Once my body got used to the 4 IUs a day of growth hormone, then I started feeling fine again. Like I wasn't as tired and beat up feeling as I was before. Then, like a dumbass, I add MK677, which is a growth hormone secretagogue and a ghrelin agonist, and then bang, the lethargy came back. Well, at 4 U's of GH and 20 milligrams of MK677, within 3 days, I started getting some pretty significant, swelling in my hands and ankles. The carpal tunnel syndrome, or the carpal tunnel effect, started coming on. And so it was, it's a little concerning when you see this bizarre swelling all around your wrists and your hands. And so I had to make some adjustments. So I've dropped it down to 10 milligrams of MK, and I may try 10 milligrams of MK and 2 IUs of growth hormone, or I'll probably push it and see if I can get away with the 4 IUs of growth hormone, the 10 milligrams of MK, and then all of the other injectables. So the original goal for this cycle, if you remember forever ago, was to try to get to 205 pounds from a starting weight of around 194. And then I got up to 200, fell down to 94, and I'm now back up to 204. So, man, fuck it. We're just going to see how far this can go. I will admit that I have damn near pulled the plug on this a couple of times and just gone to the hospital. I think what I figured out is that the volume of drugs that I'm taking seems to be causing some anxiety, and I'm having like mini panic attacks. There's been a couple of times where like I noticed, like I've had some... I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I know people will be like, damn, this guy's gonna fucking drop dead at any minute. I have been experiencing some chest pains, like right in my heart. Last night I had some that were kind of stabbing and would feel like they would radiate up and down my arm. And then this general feeling of not really being good, and the elevated pulse. And so there's a lot of things that started getting in my head, and I thought, man, I think I'm dying. I should probably go to the ER. And it's like, you go, what the fuck am I going to tell him? When I walk into the ER and I tell him, hey, doc, I don't feel very good, and this is what I'm taking, he's going to be like, well, get the fuck out of here. Just get rid of all that shit and you'll probably be fine. So I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go get a cardio workup. I probably should, but I think I'm getting ready to take my kids on vacation to Florida like next week. So who knows, man? Maybe we'll just let it roll. But so it has been, I'm saying all this to try to drive home the point that it has been some hell of a fucking roller coaster for the past 20 days, give or take. That's why I have not been making videos. I mentioned in my previous video that I accidentally injected 400 milligrams in 1 week of Tren instead of the 200 that I had planned. And so that you know, had a spike in androgens. My wife and I have not really been getting along well at all. Again, Tren plays a huge factor in that. I could make an entire video about the issues that she and I are having, and I just might do that tonight. We'll just see. So that's where we're at. So 500 milligrams of Test E, 200 milligrams of Trenbolone E, 500 milligrams of Primo, 4 IUs of growth hormone, 10 milligrams of MK677, and then all of the other kind of ancillary meds. And we are people say we, I don't have a fucking coach. I am currently weighing 204 pounds in the evening and about 201 in the morning. And I'm expecting that weight will go up, because the beauty of this is I'm not even at the 4-week mark on these injectables. So I've been on this injectable dosage with the Primo added for 2 weeks now. So I haven't even seen the gains that are going to potentially come when all of these long-acting esters start kicking in. Usually at the 4 to 6 week mark is when my weight starts slowly climbing, and then it'll climb, you know, for a couple of weeks, and then it'll kind of taper and climb. And then usually at the 8-week mark is where I either have to really up the calories or up the fucking doses or something, because I start to stagnate. And so hopefully, if we can squeeze another 5 pounds of some decent tissue out of this thing, then I'll be feeling even better about that, especially considering I'm fairly certain we're working with a lot of water weight right now. So what else can I tell you? That's where we stand. I've had a couple people asking for videos about growth hormone. I will do an entire video on the growth hormone, although I've probably said it all there is to say so far in multiple videos. Gonna keep monitoring all my my biomarkers as best as possible. I really should probably get some labs done, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that. So once I get back from vacation, I'm probably gonna be in Florida for somewhere between 15 to 20 days. We're going all around the panhandle. I mean, the whole coast of Florida, basically. We're hitting every major city, going down to the Keys, going up to Cape Canaveral, and then we'll come back home. So when we get back home, it's gonna be difficult maintaining all this on the road as it is, and then trying to find gyms so that I don't waste my fucking bulk, you know, fucking around on the beach. So that's gonna be a bit of a challenge. I'm probably gonna do a bunch of videos on the road, see if I can shoot some in the gym, some on the beach, just kind of show you guys what the vacation looks like. And then when I get back, if I'm not dead yet, and then I'm gonna probably add 50 milligrams of Anadrol per day, probably just until I die. I think that's what's going on here. I'm pretty sure that what I'm actually doing is not bodybuilding. I think that the more accurate way of describing this is like the slowest, most protracted suicide attempt known to man. I don't know how you could really honestly call it anything else when when you're just intentionally putting your body in the state that I'm putting mine in. I don't even want to guess at what my cholesterol looks like. It is probably fucking trashed. So there you have it. I apologize for being gone for so long. I had, like I said, several people in the comments were asking me if I was still alive, and on Instagram. Again, follow me on Instagram. I'm active pretty much every day there. I have had some people say they don't like my Instagram because I'm too political on there. So before you even consider going to follow me on Instagram, I am very right-wing, and I talk shit all day, every day, just about the liberal agenda. So if that's not for you, then stay the fuck away from my Instagram. I have honestly really been wanting to make more videos that are not just bodybuilding content and talk about and just let my rants go about all of the things that are happening in this world, because I think I have an interesting take on it. Most people that I know in person seem to enjoy it, but I don't know if it's right for this channel, so I haven't decided whether I'm going to make a separate channel for just airing out all my fucking bitches and complaints and grievances, or if I should just kind of filter them in here, and then we're all adults and you guys can decide what the fuck you want to watch and what you don't. So if you have any thoughts on that in the comment section would be helpful. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe, do all the shit you know how to do, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.